I get it. Sometimes it feels like we are just on the never-ending hamster wheel of content creation, right? Like posting every day, showing up constantly, and then we're still trying to go out there and make sales, right? Well, what if you could make all your content once and have it work for you 24/7? Yeah, that's exactly what today's guest does. And she is breaking down her entire system on how you can do it too. This episode is brought to you by Metricool. From planning to publishing to understanding what's actually working, Metricool gives you data-driven control. And with their built-in AI tools and competitor tracking, you'll stop guessing and start growing. Just click the link in the show notes for 30 free days of premium access and make sure to use the code Katie30. All right, let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Today, I'm sitting down with somebody who's not just built a business, she's built freedom. So today's guest is Jessica Stansberry. She is a digital product queen, a YouTube content machine, and one of the best when it comes to teaching everyday entrepreneurs how to market smarter, not harder. We are drinking the same Kool-Aid, girlfriend. And if you've ever dreamed of waking up to Stripe notifications or building a business that doesn't require you to be on 24/7, you're in good hands. This is your episode. Jessica, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Well, and you and I got the opportunity to meet at Social Media Marketing World. And tell us a little bit about your background, like what got you into the YouTube world and kind of this smarter, not harder bandwagon.
Yeah. So I have a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old. And when I was pregnant with my 14-year-old, I was like 23 years old, and in corporate, and I was miserable. And when I had him, all I wanted to do was stay at home with him. Like I couldn't fathom like leaving him with somebody else and then going to a job I hated. Like that, just didn't work for me. And we couldn't really afford for me not to work. So I found a way to work from home. And basically after a few like failed attempts at other random things, I kind of so I have a degree in advertising.
Oh.
And I used like a lot of my graphic design skills. And I was like, I'm going to teach myself how to design websites and how to do all of this thing. And I'd been doing business cards and things like that for years. So I kind of just leaned into that and started doing web design. And that was in 2010. And then in about 2015, I was like, I feel like I could do more. And that's when I really like went online, like really like, I'm going to like do this thing and try and create content and all of that stuff. And through that, I was like, I like video. I like doing things on video. Like, let's go. And in 2016, I put up my first YouTube video. So it just kind of snowballed from there. And then I realized the power of YouTube, right? Like YouTube is so evergreen. I mean, I still have videos to this day from like 2016, 2017 that get me views like now. And so it's just this really cool platform that I love.
Well, and I think that one of the things, like I've been so afraid of video for years. Yeah. And that's one of the hardest things for me is like, oh man, I gotta be on video. But since I do the podcast, I was like, you know what, I'll just turn on the camera. And it's made a world of difference because there's so many people that do consume their content via video and YouTube, it is owned by Google. It's amazing to me how many times I see something that I type into Google and it gives me a YouTube video as the answer. So for someone that's brand new to YouTube and they're saying, are you sure I should do YouTube? Like, why not Reels or, Instagram, or why not TikTok? Why YouTube? And what would be the first step that they should take?
Sure. So YouTube, because it's evergreen, like that would be like the thing. Well, there's so many more reasons and we'll talk about them, but the biggest thing is because it's evergreen. I mean, think about a Reel or a TikTok, right? How long does it take before it dies? It's like you got at max a few days. It's like a fruit fly or whatever they are that only live like a couple days. So you don't have long, right? And so you're creating all of this content and then it dies like really quickly. With YouTube, like I say, I mean, I have videos from 8+ years ago that still get views, and that's amazing, right? Like they still get views, they still get leads, they still get sales. And so it's like, why, if you're going to put in the effort, like I personally am like, okay, let's put in the effort to do the thing that's going to work the longest, the hardest for me. And yes, is it more effort? Absolutely. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all, right? Like a YouTube video is going to be way more effort than like a 30-second TikTok,
Yeah.
However, it is worth that effort. So yeah. So what was your next question?
Well, what would be the first step be for someone that's, let's say they're like, all right, I've been focusing on like Instagram and I'm not really seeing the ROI of it. You keep saying that like, oh, this has a lot longer evergreen. Like, what would their first step be? Should they just start with shorts, or what would you recommend to somebody that's brand new to creating for YouTube?
Yeah. So you could start with shorts. I'm not a shorts fan. I do shorts and I've experimented with shorts and I've, come to that conclusion by my own methods. But like, I'm just not a shorts fan because it's kind of the same thing. In the algorithm, they don't live very long. And then also they're not really attracting your people. So you really need somebody to watch a consistent amount of your content before they're ready to like take that next step with you, whatever that is, like a lead magnet or a sale or whatever. And getting like, how many shorts are they going to have to watch before they're like, oh, this person, and how many are they going to get served before that's the case? So I'm not a big fan of shorts. You could start with shorts though, if it's really comfortable to you, if you've been doing shorter form content somewhere else. But what I will say is what's really interesting is the content that does well on TikTok, that does well on Instagram, and that does well on shorts is all different. So even though they're like the same format, if you will, in the same time frame, in the same whatever, the content itself is different on what does well. And so I don't know that that's what I would do. The first step for me, honestly, what I would say is just to start. Like, go ahead and come up with 4 or 5 topics that people, come to you and they have like reservations of working with you, or they have reservations of the thing that you talk about. And see if you can come up with some videos that really inform them and help them see that like these things are not the roadblocks they think they are, and do those as long form videos. So you can use your phone. Like, our phones are such good quality now, are like, use your phone and put up a video on YouTube that, like you say, sits in the algorithm with SEO, because it is owned by Google. It will get found on Google. And so see what you can do there. That's what I would recommend. And understand that YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. That's my biggest.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And because we've gotten so used to this instant gratification of, like, oh, did it go viral? How many likes did it get? And there's been some of my videos that somehow have like gotten a little bump, and I'm like, oh, this one's being seen a whole bunch, like getting comments on this one. Why? And it's crazy to me. So if someone's just like, I keep going back to just starting on YouTube, because for some reason, even though you said you went all in back in 2016, and I definitely feel like you were ahead of the curve with like the content creation, especially in the video form. And there's some people that I think that maybe because of short form video, they're willing to be on video now because of it. What if they're jumping over to YouTube? How important is it to really like the length of a YouTube video? What is an ideal length that they should be shooting for? Should we be doing Joe Rogan 3-hour long YouTube videos here, or are we talking like 3 minutes?
Yeah, that's such a good question. And it's probably the most asked question, honestly. Like, when I start talking about YouTube strategy, people are like, how long is the right? And there isn't one. So what I like to say, there's 2 things I want to say. One is your video needs to be as long as it needs to be without fluff. So you don't want to extend your video just for the case of making it longer when what you extend it with is garbage, right? Like repeating yourself and like whatever. So get to your point and do the things, but make it as long as it needs to be. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. Well, I do care if it's 5 minutes. I'll get to that in a second. But I don't care if it's 5 minutes or 25 minutes, as long as it gets to the point, because the viewer is going to care that you helped them, not how long they sat there to watch that thing. That all being said, so right now, what is doing best on the platform is TV watchable content. So we're talking 20 minutes plus. And so this is, content that someone can pull up on their TV and feel good about like leaving on. They don't have to like switch it in a second or whatever. In addition to that, the minimum that I would do is about 8 minutes. And the reason for that is because with like when you're monetized, you cannot put mid-roll ads unless your video is 8 minutes or longer. And from my experience and like the channels I've assessed and things like that, it seems like YouTube wants your videos to be at least 8 minutes. I would say 8 minutes is your minimum for a long form video. And honestly, if you can make it really entertaining and really informative and fun and exciting for 20 minutes, that's what I would push for.
So what are some of your tips that you have on making it entertaining? You said the E word,
Yes.
and it's a lot of times, one of the most common things I hear from people when I'm trying to get them to turn on the camera is, oh, well, what I do is so boring.
Like I'm boring. Yes.
I'm
yes.
boring. And so what are some of your tips to make it entertaining?
Yeah. So I think a lot of times people think that they're boring and they're not, number one. Number two, you have to remember that the camera sucks your personality out. So I like to tell people that there's like a little gremlin in the camera and his whole job is to like make you look like you have no personality when it comes out the other end. And I don't know why he lives there and I wish he had a better job, but here we are, And so you kind of have to take things up a notch, I would say. Like when you're filming, try and take your personality up a notch. Stand up, see if that really helps you, like, have more of a personality or project a little bit more. But honestly, the biggest thing would be the format of the video. If you can hook somebody in the beginning and get them to stick around and then have like personal anecdotes and then talk about the thing you're talking about and then talk to the video as if it's a friend, not as if it's 80 people that are watching you teach them, this random thing. And then give them a call to action and get them to want to watch more of your videos. That's what's going to keep them there, but also keep them watching more and more things. So it's the difference in, hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about, I don't know, bananas. And I don't know, random topic. Today we're going to talk about bananas and how they're yellow. And like, here's why bananas are yellow. Like that is boring as hell, right? Like, okay. Whereas if I showed up with like a banana and I was like, do you see this? Is this yellow? Is this green? What color is this friggin' banana? And like, I just leaned into my personality and I leaned into how I would have this same conversation with a friend. That's what's going to make it more entertaining.
Well, I think we will all be on the lookout for the banana video. And how can you bring that back into what you do?
Yeah.
I know
I could probably get there.
I bet you could. I mean, like you hooked me in there, and you're not even holding the banana up. I'm like, well, I don't know, what color is it? Is it like the dress video where it's like, or the picture, like is it blue or is it white or whatever or gold?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so making it entertaining, and I think that's one of the things too, where a lot of people are afraid of of people rejecting them because of who they are. Like, oh, well, I know I need to be more professional, or I know I need to be like this. And I mean, for me, one of the biggest holdups for me creating video was I make weird faces. If you notice, I kind of talk out the left side of my mouth when I talk. And it's because of the microphone. And when I, started with radio, to talk out the left side of your mouth, it reduces the popping sound, but I still do it to this day. And it made me super uncomfortable to show up on video. Everyone's going to notice and they're all going to think I talk weird.
Nope. And I didn't know at all.
Yeah. But that's something that was in my head, And
Yes.
So I think that's one of the things where people are afraid to turn on the camera because we're going to be judged.
Yeah.
And with all of the stuff that's online, like, man, I think that you just need to understand there's going to be people out there that have nothing better to do with their lives.
Totally.
Other than judge.
Totally. And we're all self-conscious about something. So when I was going to start on YouTube, I had been convinced of it. Like I had seen these or heard somebody on a podcast and I had like seen a couple videos and I'm like, I know that I would be good at this. Like, I know that this is something that I should do. But I was about 15 pounds over like my lowest weight. I had lost a bunch of weight after my second son. And I was like rocking a bikini in Hawaii, right? And I had gained about 15 pounds back, which now is insane because I've gained like quite a bit more than that, you know. But I literally was, yeah, I tell people all the time, I was trying to wait for that 15 pounds to lose that 15 pounds. And if I would have waited for that, I'd have never started still. Like I have gained more, you know?
Yeah.
And so my weight was a problem, my accent. And a lot of times I talk about this in like when I'm speaking on stage and stuff. I had been told my whole life that my accent made me sound stupid. And to the point where I actually took broadcasting classes in school because my degree was in communication and I was my concentration was advertising, but it was the same college as like broadcasting, PR, you know, those kinds of things. And we had to cross-pollinate our major, you know. And so I remember I walked into a broadcasting class and I went to college at a university that's only like 45 minutes away from me. And so a lot of the kids talk like me, right? Or worse, you know? And so I walk into this broadcasting class and this professor walks in and he says, first things first, if you ever expect to be successful in TV or radio, you cannot have an accent like this. Like that was what he said. That was like the first statement to the class. And I grew up hearing movies. If there's a stupid person in a movie, they're Southern. Like, yeah, that's just what it is. And so I just had this limiting belief that I couldn't be successful because of my accent, because I sounded Southern. And lo and behold, it's the thing that people remember me for.
Yes, I know. I know. Like I find it very endearing. And I'm like, I just want to go have a cup of sweet tea with you.
I love it. I would have a cup of sweet tea with you. Yeah. And so I think a lot of the things that we are self-conscious about, like you just saying that about the left side of your, like I wouldn't have noticed to save my life. Couldn't have paid me. If at the end of this interview, you were like, there was something that I'm self-conscious, I would have been like, I don't know, the curtain. Like I literally wouldn't have picked anything out, you know? And so we have to remember that we're our own worst critics. Yep. And so we're noticing things that other people don't. Now, that being said, are there mean people in the world? Yes. Are there people, like you said, that have nothing better to do? Yes. And we all have our own ways to deal with that. So I like to clap back at the haters. I'm a big fan of, just getting my rocks off, clapping back. Like if somebody says something mean, I'm like, oh, mama didn't let you out of the basement today, did she? Like, you know, like, oh my God, not bring you food. I'm so sorry, you know? So... Or I like to tell people.
Now I kind of want to have someone troll me just so I can say that back to them. I love it.
Yes. And I like to tell people like Google is free. You know, people will say stuff and I'm like, you're an idiot and Google is free. Like, I don't know what else to say about this. And I will say though, I feel like I got more hate comments 5 years ago than I do now, even with a bigger following, because I don't know. I think maybe either people calmed down or I hid enough words in my comment section to where the words they're using don't come into my comments. So like you can do that. You can hide, like if you wanted to hide the word fat, or if you wanted to hide workout or lose weight or anything. Like if you had a mole on your face and you were worried people were going to mention it, right? Like you could hide the word mole, and these people can still comment it. And they think they're commenting and they're like keyboard warrioring, and then it never shows up anywhere. It's a super fun feature because I'm like, you're an idiot. So I think two things. One, understand that like everybody has insecurities that they're going to have, and like you kind of have to push through that. It's something you'll probably always be working on, honestly. Like it's something I still like work on now. I'm really comfortable with the camera from here up. I'm not as comfortable with the camera when my whole body's showing, you know, and that's something I want to get better at. And so we're all going to have those things. And then also like, just let them, what's the lady's
Mel
name?
Robbins. Yeah.
Like, let them, I don't know what else to say. Like they are quite literally like losers in their mama's basement. I just don't put any weight on their opinion.
I love that. And with everything that you do, we've been talking a lot about this. You have that brand new course, right? Tell us really quick about it, because we were talking about it before I hit record here. And it sounds perfect for people who, whether or not they are just starting their channel or they want to take it to the next level and really, like I said at the beginning, see those Stripe notifications coming through while they sleep.
Yes. So I have a lot of like individual courses. Like I have a course about YouTube. It's called YouTube Rockstars. I've had it for 6 years. I have a course called Affiliate Marketing Mastery that helps people with affiliate marketing. I also have a course on digital products that helps people create digital products. And so this new course is called Post to Profit. And it is literally created to bundle all of my courses together and give you a roadmap, whether you're a business owner or a creator, to create content that actually makes you money on the other side. So I'm really excited about it. I was telling you, I'm not a membership girl. I tried and I just can't do it. So this is more of like a membership without the monthly fee, even though there are payment plans, but like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you get access to all of my courses. There's dozens of courses in there that are literally for content creation and how to take that content creation and turn it into money.
Well, and you can kind of pick and choose your own adventure sort of with
Yep.
the courses that you have. So I'll include a link to that in the show notes. I want to talk about how YouTube is full of SEO, right?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
how because we said at the beginning how all of a sudden it lives for well for me, all of a sudden some video from a while ago is all of a sudden being seen more,
Yes.
and it has that longevity. So let's talk about how the SEO is so important for your videos. How do you do the keyword research for your videos?
Yes. So the biggest thing that I use is, well, I use two different tools. So I use TubeBuddy, which
I love
is a
TubeBuddy.
YouTube, yes, love it. It's YouTube specific. So you're going to be able to go in and put in keywords and it's going to be like, you can or cannot do this. You know what I mean? Like it's going to give you a score. But I love to kind of raw dog the keyword. I don't know another word. The keyword research a little bit because I do think it's a little bit more precise. So I use a tool called Keywords Everywhere. And it's actually, it used to be free, but now it's paid, but it's like very minimal payment. I don't think I've ever paid more than like $10 for it. And I use it all the time. So essentially what it is it's a Chrome extension. And I think they charge you per like 10 searches or 100 searches. I don't know. And when you go into YouTube or Pinterest or Google or wherever you're going to search, and you type in the keyword or you type in the thing, it's going to give you like metrics. It's going to give you
Yep.
competition. It's going to give you how many searches per month, and it's going to give you the cost per click, which I couldn't care less
Do you
about.
have a TubeBuddy affiliate link? I don't have one.
do.
I
do.
use it. We'll include the TubeBuddy link in the comments here. I don't have an affiliate link for it, but I use it as well. I
Okay,
do have to everything that Jessica that you're saying, I could not agree with more. It's been huge for helping
Yeah.
me grow my channel, grow my clients' channels. I think it's great.
Yes. No, I agree. I use TubeBuddy for so many things. They actually have like A/B testing
Yeah.
for titles because
cool.
now YouTube has it built in for thumbnails, but they even have it for titles. Like it's great. But I'm a big fan of Keywords Everywhere too. And essentially what I like to say is you can't get too big for your britches. And like that's what like it's pulling in a southern saying there, right? Because a lot of people want to go after a keyword that's searched like 10,000 times a month, like oh whatever, but your channel doesn't have that much authority yet. So I'm a big fan of saying like let's match your authority with how many searches per month these keywords are. So I use Keywords Everywhere and TubeBuddy, but Keywords Everywhere. And let's say I want to search or I want to rank for digital products. And I go in and it's searched 50,000 times. But let's say my channel only has 10,000 subscribers.
Only.
I'm
happy with 3. But yeah.
Right. Right. But I'm getting too big for my britches at that point. So what you really want to do is try and match your subscriber number to how many searches per month there are. If you have less than 500 subscribers, you can go up to like 500 searches a month. But the thing there is what that does is it kind of keeps you on the level you can actually rank for in the SEO. So sometimes like people think, oh, I'm going to go after the higher search levels. But if you have a small channel, you cannot compete in those searches. Like you just can't. So that's how I like to do it. Also, nowadays, my strategy is much more get found in suggested and the home feed than
How do we do it?
being found in search.
How do we do it? How do we get found in the suggested feed? Tell us the secret.
It's gonna sound so fluffy. I wish I had like a better answer. But here's my best answer. Yes, still do the SEO, right? Like still try and like find keywords that you can rank for, blah, blah, blah. But the biggest thing is formulating a title that is SEO friendly, but also really clickable. So where people make the mistake here is they'll say like, how to create digital products. And that is an SEO heavy title, right? That's going to get you found in search, and you might show up on somebody's suggested, but like it's not a suggested kind of title. What you really want to do is, 10 ways that I use digital products to grow my business. It's more personal, it's more clickable, it's more of something that YouTube is going to say, okay, let's show this to more people. The other piece of being shown and suggested, though, is the video content actually being really good. So if somebody so a lot of times what will happen with a search is somebody will go and they'll search the thing and they'll click it, and then they will watch a little bit and they'll dip out. Or they'll watch the whole thing, but they skip through it trying to get to the answer, right? That tells YouTube that this video isn't very good. It just gives people information. So we want people watching our whole video, and then that's going to get it more in suggested than it is in search. So it's I wish it wasn't this fluffy, but it is.
Well, and I think that really was a great segue into my next question, because I wanted to talk about titles and thumbnails. Like, what is the role for both thumbnails and titles in getting more views?
Yeah. So probably these two things are the most important pieces of YouTube. And somebody might fight me on that, but I'd say most people wouldn't. I don't know. Like most YouTubers are going to be like, yeah, I agree. And the reason for that is my big philosophy is if they don't click, they don't watch. Like so the only reason these people are clicking on your video is the title and the thumbnail. That's it. And so if they don't click, they don't watch. And so you can't ever get to those other metrics. You can't ever get to watch time or whatever because they're not clicking. So titles and thumbnails are the most important thing, honestly. And I would say the biggest thing is your title, again, is going to be SEO friendly and clickable. So I like to say SEO and a little sass. Like that's what I always like to say, like a little bit of sass on the title. So instead of saying like how to create digital products, it might be how to create digital products that make you $10,000 per month. That's the sass.
I thought you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say that don't suck.
Right. Yes, something like that. That's perfect. That is perfect. Or like one I've done before that did really well was something about digital products. And I was like, not on Etsy, because a lot of people just think you can like create a digital product and throw it up on Etsy, and that's the extent of it. So like, yes, like a little bit of sass to the title, like not just these like really straightforward titles. Then in addition to that, if anybody hears anything I've said in this podcast, let this be the thing you hear, and let this be the thing that you don't forget, okay? And that is, do not repeat the title in any way in the thumbnail. So a lot of times people will be like, how to create digital products, and then the thumbnail also says how to create digital products. And it's like, what the hell are you doing? Sorry.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, it's real estate that you're wasting right there, right?
Yes, so much real estate. Yes. I tell people all the time, like, this is such valuable real estate. The thumbnail should be a partner to the title, not its twin, right? And so it should help the title. The title should help the thumbnail. Thumbnail should help the title. These two things should work together to make someone say, I'm clicking that one over all of the other options that I have, whether it's showing up on suggested, home, or in search. Like, they have to do that. And so a lot of people are like, well, what do I put on my thumbnail? Think about it like, how can I convey like an emotion that is had in some way in the video? Or how can I make somebody ask a question? Like, how can I add on to the title a little bit? So I just did a video where it's not live yet, but it goes along with my launch of this new program. And the title of the video was going to be, if they don't click, they don't watch. But then I was like, that's really not telling them what the video is about. I really need to more so title it with something it's about. So the title, I changed it to 8 years of YouTube advice in 18 minutes. Okay. Then my thumbnail, I said, if they don't click, they don't watch, because it's a piece of that advice.
Almost like a subtitle.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, this is the title, and then the thumbnail is kind of the subtitle.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Or vice versa. You could even do it vice versa. I've seen people do that. The thumbnail should just add to the title. Like, it should really make it more clickable. If you saw the title without the thumbnail, it should be clickable. But once you add the title or the thumbnail, it should be like very clickable, right?
Yeah, I love that. Man, Jessica, we only got through half the questions that I put together for this interview. No, I mean, this was so good. And I learned so much. I love talking YouTube. And, like I said, I love hearing your sweet, sweet Southern accent. So if people want to hear more of your accent and learn from you, learn all the things in your brand new course, Post to Profit, we'll have the link to that in the show notes. Where can they follow you online? Like, tell us all the things, Jessica.
Yeah, so Instagram and YouTube are my main platforms where I hang out. So both of those are just my name, Jessica Stansberry. So youtube.com/Jessica Stansberry. And then on Instagram, it's Jessica Stansberry. So, and then, yeah, I'll have the any kind of links anywhere or always on those two platforms. So you can find me anywhere there.
Amazing. Yeah. And if you've been sleeping on YouTube, man, I got to tell you, that was one of the best things I did in 2023 was really kind of start focusing in on creating YouTube content. And it's been great. I love doing YouTube now. So
exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much, Jessica, for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. I hope you're leaving with valuable insights and the inspiration to lead your market. If you've enjoyed our time together and found today's podcast episode useful, I have a small favor to ask of you. Please hit that subscribe button to stay updated with the latest episodes. And if you know someone who could benefit from these episodes, maybe a fellow business leader or an aspiring entrepreneur, go ahead and share this episode with them. Let's spread the knowledge and grow together. Also, I'd love to hear from you and continue the conversation beyond the podcast. Visit me at katiebrinkley.com to connect, to find more resources, or just to share your journey. And be sure to pick up your copy of my new book, The Social Shift, at katiebrinkley.com/book. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Katie Brinkley, and I can't wait to dive into more strategies and stories with you on the next episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Let's keep on taking your marketing to new heights.